Huh? Huh? Kid list. Okay. Good morning, Crash Nation. We are here this weekend in Jacksonville, Florida for the Southern Slam Wheelchair Rugby Tournament here on the campus of the University of North Florida. First matchup this morning for the Crash will be versus the Oscar Mike Militia based near Chicago, Illinois. So looking forward to a good matchup. Um, just a couple of technical notes during the audio video test this morning. We weren't getting a really good picture through our regular streaming software. So we'll have to go old school, at least here for the first game, which means there won't be intro video or countdown or halftime video. We'll try to get all that straightened out between games. We had to choose between giving you a fuzzy picture and the highlight and all the highlights, or a good picture with none of the extra stuff. So we chose the good picture. Hopefully that'll make it a better experience. So we have about a little over 5 minutes before tip off. So we're just going to sit back and take a quick break here and get back with you as soon as we get ready to roll. All right, well, the teams get finished measuring by the refs. We'll go through the schedule a little bit here, what to expect for the rest of the weekend. Of course, we have this game versus Oscar Mike, and then the next game for Carolina will be today at 2:30 Eastern. Only 2 games today. And then tomorrow, Carolina plays again at 11:30 versus Grand Rapids. The games after that are determined by their seeding in their pool. So the first 3 games of this tournament are pool games, determining ranking in that particular pool. Carolina's pool consists of the Shepherd Smash from Atlanta, Oscar Mike from Chicago, and Grand Rapids from Michigan. So depending on how we end up in the pool, will determine when we play again on Saturday. It'll either be at 1 o'clock or 2:30. So, and then Sunday, again, those are placement games depending on what happens in the first 2 days. So we'll do our best to keep everybody abreast of what's going on as far as the schedule. But we know for sure 11:30 today, 2:30 today, and 11:30 tomorrow. So that's where we're at. Carolina's on the floor getting their chairs measured, and after that's finished, we'll be ready to roll. So take another quick break and be right back with you. All right, both teams break the huddle. Getting ready to get this one going. AJ Walker, number 10, Dave Jenkins, 14, Hank Allen, and James Whitty on the floor for Carolina. Number 9, Josh Birch. Number 22, Noah Courier. Number 4, Ryan Major. And number 31, Caleb Williams on starting for Oscar Mike. Like Carolina's going to be moving left to right on your screen to start off. All right, both teams set. Center court for the tip. Ball up and Major tips it over to Courier. Guarded by Allen. Caleb Wilson tries to get it across half court, stopped by Walker. That was a pass down court, looking for Ryan Major, out of bounds. Carolina defense creates turnover on a first possession. AJ Walker will be inbounding. Jenkins met some contact right off the bat over to Whitty. Took the pass down court, across half court to Walker, able to gather it right before the sideline. Walker is going to draw a foul on Wilson. Carolina, the 4-on-3 right here right off the bat. Inbounds pass comes to Whitty. He's got a clear shot to the inline, and Carolina takes first points of the game here early in the first quarter. Courier into Wilson, guarded by Whitty. Wilson knocked around at half court. Sees an opening, takes contact right before the inline, able to take it across. Oscar Mike ties it up at 1. Whitty fighting through some arm traffic. Has it knocked away. Wilson comes up with it. Oscar Mike goes up 2-1. Inbounds to Jenkins. Pass intended for Walker goes out of bounds. Bart's inbounding here in front of us. It's into Wilson. Guarded by Allen and Jenkins. Pass down to Courier. Wilson flashes to the inline. Oscar Mike up 3-1 with 6:12 to go here in the first. Jenkins looking for some help. Ball goes off. Ball's loose, and Birch picks it up. Major seals the corner for Wilson. Carolina calls a timeout. 5:50 to go in the first. Oscar Mike up 4-1. Same lineup back on the floor for both teams. Jenkins looking for the corner. Dumps a pass down low to Walker. Walker called for in and out. No point. Substitution into the game. Ronnie Adams for A.J. Walker. Long pass into Major. Working up the far side. Pass intercepted. Almost intercepted by Whitty. Birch tosses it into Wilson. Back to Birch. Wilson crashes between two defenders and takes it across with 8 on the shot clock. Oscar Mike goes up 5-1. Adams passing to Whitty. Whitty down the sideline. Takes a hit from Wilson. Looks for Jenkins down low, and Jenkins able to make it across the line. Wilson to Major. Takes a couple of hits from the crash defenders. Able to bounce away. Looking for the corner. Hank Allen and Whitty there to stop him. Gets him. Whitty pushes him out of bounds. 4:22 going to first. Carolina will take possession far corner. Ball comes into Whitty. Gives it off to Allen. Allen turns. Gives it off to Whitty. Back to Allen. 12-second call. Number 15, Brian Anderson in for Oscar Mike. Also, number 25, Chris Fleece. Fleece was inbounding. He gets called for 8 seconds. When able to get the ball inbounded in the 8-second allotted time. And Carolina will take over. Throws a pass into Whitty. Around the corner. Pass tipped by Fleece. Scrum on the floor, and Anderson comes away with it. Wilson takes it across for Oscar Mike. Whitty across the half-court line. Ball last touch by Oscar Mike. Ronnie Adams inbounds to Jenkins. Adams brings it out high. Looking for Whitty down low, reaches up. Whitty pass over to Jenkins. He's pushing. able to push his way past Birch for the score. Crash closed within 2, 5-3, 3:15 to go in the first. Long pass from Birch to Anderson. Excuse me. Wilson. Wilson has a little trouble with a fleece. Big scrum in the middle of the floor. Jump ball. Possession arrow pointing to Carolina. Carolina with a chance to close the gap to 1 here on this possession. Adams takes it to the backcourt, picks it up. Whitty couldn't find the handle. Birch picks it up. Under 30-1, Wilson zigzagging back and forth, looking for the inline. Carolina D cutting him off at every turn. Has it tipped away. Anderson tried to get to it. Last touch by Anderson. Carolina gets another shot. 6-3 is our score. Inbounds pass comes to Jenkins. Jenkins pushes his way through the opening. Looking for Whitty down low. Whitty backs his way across the line. Birch looking long. Gets it to Anderson. Anderson up to Wilson. Bounce pass over to Adams. Trying to get across half court. Finally gets it to Whitty. Whitty has the ball knocked away by Anderson. And he takes it across for the 8th point for Oscar Mike. 8-4, 136 to go in the first. Whitty fighting through some arm traffic. We've got a 3-on-1 down at the end line, and Whitty able to crash his way across the end line. Pass comes into Wilson, gets a pick from Birch. Jump ball. Possession arrow pointing to Oscar Mike this time. Stubbs coming in the game for Carolina. 5, AJ Walker. 22, Rhett Roberts. Gives Adams and Whitty a break. Oscar Mike. Birch inbounding far side. Wilson hands it back off to Birch. Birch takes him across. Inbounds pass. Comes into Roberts. One hands it. Ducking behind a pick by Jenkins. Puts on the afterburner. Gets a good pick from Jenkins. Pushes away across the end line. 50 seconds to go in first. 9-6 Oscar Mike. Pass down to Birch. Walker tosses in to Roberts. Roberts looking for some opening. Comes it back over to Walker. Tries to get it to Jenkins. Passes short, intercepted by Wilson. Down court to Anderson. It's pushed across with 17.7. Carolina calls a timeout. Move the ball up to half court for the last 17.7. AJ Walker being inbounding up across half court on the far side with 17.7 showing on the clock. Carolina trying to get one more point on the board for the end of the first quarter. Jenkins around the left side, looking for the corner. Passes low to Walker. Sneaks his way across with 5.2 to go. 11-7. Oscar Mike calls the timeout this time. Same deal. Moving it up to half court. See what Oscar Mike can do with the last 5.2 in the first quarter. Ball's in. Long bullet pass down low to Birch. Moving across just before the buzzer. Heck of a pass there by Anderson. The catch by Birch. So, into the first quarter. Oscar Mike, Militia 12, Carolina Crash 7. Quick 2-minute break. All right, here we go. Adams, Jenkins, Allen, Roberts, Carolina, Major, Fleece, Williams, and I think that's his Jesse Graham, number 34, maybe. Can't see the other number on his jersey. Carolina will have first possession. See if they can cut into the Oscar Mike lead here. Oscar Mike leading 12-7. Start second. Adams brings it up. Comes a pass down to Roberts, down low. Makes able to get it across the line just before it's knocked away. So 12-8. Pass into Wilson. With 31, Wilson headed down court. Cut off by Roberts. Wilson tries the other side successfully. Pass into Jenkins. Pass to Roberts. Splits. Tries to split defenders. Ends up getting a foul. Drawing a foul. .31, Caleb Wilson in the penalty box for a little bit. Carolina with the 4-on-3. Pass comes to Adams. Casually rolls across the end line. Wilson back on the floor. Pass comes in to Graham. Pass tipped by Jenkins. Last touch by Jenkins. Chris Fleece inbounding, tosses it into Graham. Graham down center court. 8 seconds, no dribble called on Graham. Carolina will take it. Adams throws it into Jenkins. Jenkins looking long. There's a pass down to Roberts, guarded by Major. Pivots back. Bounces it over to Jenkins. Long pass down to Roberts. Reaches back and grabs it. Takes it across. Carolina closes within 3, 13-10. Wilson, guarded by Roberts. Pass down to Major. Major beats the defense. And bounce pass comes into Roberts. Roberts tries to get it across half court. Graham there to intercept the pass. Adams tips that one out of bounds. Jenkins. Ball being tipped around. It's loose on the floor. Major tries to pick it up. Last touch by Oscar Mike. Carolina comes away with a turnover. Adams looking for some help. Bumps a pass down long. Roberts in pursuit. And he's going to catch it. 12-second call. The ball is not touched in 12 seconds. Nice pass. Just not in time. So it'll be Carolina ball or Oscar Mike ball. Ball in the major. Wilson brings it back up top. Wilson hands it off to Graham down low. Adams throws it into Roberts. There's a pass to Jenkins. Jenkins pivots around. Angle pass over to Roberts. On the ground. Picked up by Major. Crash turn it over in transition. Ryan Major comes away with it. Major around the corner. 16-10 Oscar Mike. Roberts. That's for Jenkins. Pass back to Roberts down the sideline. Across half court. Met by a couple of defenders. Looking for some help. Pass down to Adams. Adams finds Jenkins sneaking away from the defense. Wilson across the timeline. Jenkins hands a pass off to Roberts. Roberts sights set on the end line. Gets ahead of steam and pushes it across. Ball's loose. Off target pass ends up in the hands of Adams. It's tipped. Major there to pick that one up. Graham looking for Anderson down low and connect on the pass. Adams lobs it into Jenkins, hands off to Roberts. Roberts back to Jenkins, up the court to Adams. Takes a hit. Major in pursuit. Adams inside the cone. Ryan Major caught up right before half court. Comes down court to the 31 Wilson. Pass comes in to Roberts. Gets turned for a second. It's a pick by Adams. Big hit from Wilson. Looking for the corner. Bullet pass down to Jenkins. A little too much mustard on that one. Subs, both teams. 22, Noah Courier, and Josh Birch back in for Oscar Mike. Woody and Miley Road in for Carolina. A little bit of a high-low lineup for Carolina with 2 low pointers, 2 high pointers on the floor. Ball was tapped away, last touch by Oscar Mike at the blue ball. Jenkins calls for the inbound. Pass down low for Whitty, slashing to the inline. Good pass there by Dave Jenkins. 19-14, 2:58 to go in the first half. Carolina trying to keep this one close. Wilson takes a couple of hits, looks long, looking for Ryan Major, able to catch up with that one. Major guarded by Roberts. Birch sets him free with a pick. Major has a crash between. Ball's loose on the floor. Shot clock violation on Oscar Mike. Good defense by Carolina. They'll get a possession here with 2:18 to go. Jenkins looking for some help. Lobs it long to Roberts. Roberts able to make it by the defense. Whitty sets a screen. Birch inbounding. All knocked away by Whitty. Birch with the ball. Looking long, passes tipped, ends up in the hands of Wayne Whitty. Around the corner. Beats the defender to the end line. Gets a hit by a Major at the end line. Able to muscle his way across. Carolina closes the gap to 3. 19-16. 1:47 to go in the first half. Same lineups for Carolina and same lineup for Oscar Mike coming out of the break. Birch taking the inbounds pass down low. Pass is being denied by Jenkins. Pass tipped. Ball's loose. Jenkins picks it up. Backs it across for a spectacular point. 19-17. Crash closing in 2. Nice defense down here. Courier looking long for Birch. Wilson ducks behind a couple of screens. Takes the cross. Pass into Roberts. Knocked out of his hands. Wrestling for the ball. Jump ball. Possession arrow goes to Oscar Mike. Burch throws it into Wilson. 1:20 to go here in the first half. Oscar Mike working some clock. Heads in with 30 on the shot clock. Flaps in, and Whitty intercepts the pass. Pass goes off the chair of Roberts. Wilson again attacks, crosses with 51.6. Oscar Mike back up 4. Pass into Roberts. Looking around some picks. There's an angle pass over to Jenkins. Streaking to the end line. Takes it across. Nice offense by Carolina getting that ball across half court, across the line. 39.4 to go in the first half. Courier in the major. Pass to Anderson. Wilson. Sorry. Mr. Wilson. Didn't mean to call you the wrong name there. Birch. Wilson crosses with 19.4 on the clock. Quick inbounds pass comes to Roberts. Goes a lob pass over to Jenkins towards the half court line. Try to get it to Whitty. Intercepted by Birch. Ryan Major crosses with 4.6. Oscar Mike runs out to a 5-point lead here late in the first half. .6 to go. Oscar Mike 23, Carolina Crash 18. Crash called timeout. Trying to get one more score here before halftime. Jenkins, the trigger man for Carolina. Oscar Mike drops back. Defending the key. Next time comes to Roberts. Hit by Major. Tries a lob pass down to Whitty. It was out of bounds. It's 1 second. Anderson comes back in for Ryan Major. Oscar Mike trying a last second attempt. Fleece against Courier. They're going to try another bullet pass here coming towards the end line, I'm sure. Anderson fires it long, intercepted by Jenkins. That'll do it. So at the end of the first half, Oscar Mike Militia 23, Carolina Crash 18. Take a 5-minute break and come back with the second half shortly. Let's throw a couple dad jokes up here for everybody. Compliments of our always in attendance Papa Tater. I have an addiction to brake fluid, but I can stop whenever I want. When I was a kid, I could go to the store with $1 and come home with 2 bags of chips, 4 candy bars, and a cold drink. Nowadays, they have cameras everywhere. Thanks for those contributions there, Papa Tater. Appreciate everybody watching today. Looks like we have had up to 17 viewers today. So thanks for supporting the channel. A little over a minute left before the second half starts. Coming out of the break, Carolina rolls out Ronnie Adams, AJ Walker, Hank Allen, and Rhett Roberts, Josh Birch, Brian Anderson, Chris Fleece, and Caleb Wilson for Oscar Mike. 23-18, Oscar Mike's your score. Carolina Crash moving right to left this time. Pass comes to Walker right at the half court line, trying to make some room. Throws it over to Roberts. Gets a pick by Allen. Roberts around the corner. Down low to Adams. Gets hooked up by Birch. Ball tipped away by Anderson. Ball rolls out of bounds with 23 on the shot clock. Adams goes for the corner, puts a move on Fleece. Good move by Ronnie Adams. Get that one across. Crash could use a couple of turnovers, a couple of defensive stops. Anderson looking long for Birch. Pass has got some steam on it. Birch able to catch it. Gets a hit by Roberts. Ball's loose on the floor. Anderson lost the handle. I think it's going to be last touch by Oscar Mike. Walker inbounding for Crash. Ball comes into Roberts. Spots an opening. Get around the corner. Pushing his way through the defenders. Tries to get a pass over Adams. Wilson intercepts down to Anderson. Pass comes into Roberts again. Gets some hits. That pass hit by Wilson out of bounds. Subs. James Whitty back in for Roberts. Crash have 31 on the shot clock. Foul comes in to Whitty. Started by Anderson. looking for some help. Got him tied up here. Pass intercepted by Wilson. Anderson throws it down to Birch. Oscar Mike defense is tightened up here early in the second half. Whitty looking for some help again. That time he's going to draw a foul. I think it's going to be on Wilson, number 31. Adam was waiting for the defenders to set up behind him. Takes it across. Wilson back on the floor. Long pass down to Birch. Walker tried to stop him. Whitty gets there. Back. Anderson picks it up. Like Hank Allen, Carolina may have got pushed across the inline, leaving the court. Penalty. Dave Jenkins back in the game for A.J. Walker. Carolina playing in the one player short this possession while Allen's in the penalty box. Anderson, cross court pass to Birch. Allen back on the court. 26-20 is our score. Whitty over to Jenkins. Works through some arms. Long for Hank Allen. Gets it past over to Adams. Good pass there. Hank Allen getting that ball to Ronnie Adams. Wilson spins. Long for Birch again. Whitty takes a hit from Adams. Whitty down the sideline. Spun by Wilson. Up against the clock. Pass in the front court. Goes out of bounds. Carolina with some trouble getting it across half court against Oscar Mike defense. Bump pass comes in to Anderson. Pass over to Wilson. Jenkins drops it off to Adams. Back to Jenkins. Cross half court to Whitty. Down Jenkins. Nice catch by Jenkins on that low pass. Tire problem on Birch's chair. Birch lobs pass into Anderson. Breaks free from the defenders. He has a tire problem, it appears. Chris Fleece inbounds over to Caleb Williams, far side. Guarded by Walker, by Allen and Jenkins. Anderson makes it across half court. Birch down low. Adams takes a big hit from Anderson. Drops it to Jenkins. Anderson. Jenkins scoots a pass up court looking for Allen off his hands. Fleece getting away with it. It's intercepted by Jenkins momentarily. Draws a illegal use of hands on Anderson. So Carolina, the power play. 3:36 to go here in the third. Adams rolls across behind the Jenkins screen. 29-23. Oscar Mike. Anderson back on the floor. Wilson. Anderson big smash by Jenkins. Able to get the pass away to Birch. Woody comes into Adams. Adams with a couple of screens coming to his way. Tries to get a pass up here. Doesn't make it. And intercepted by Fleece. Wilson splits the defenders. Takes it across. Jenkins almost loses the handle. Turns. Gets it across the timeline. Has open floor in front of him. Works over to Wilson. Jenkins pass up to Whitty, scooped up, puts it in reverse, and backs across the end line. Anderson looking long. Birch. The head of steam down court. Ball's on. 2 minutes to go here in the third. 33-25. Oscar Mike. Jenkins pump fake. Takes it across. Wilson looking long for Birch. All alone momentarily. Jenkins shows up. Passes over to Wilson. Anderson slashing to the inline. Gets spun by Adams, I believe. Referees give Austin Mike a penalty try. The ball was moving towards the goal, and the infraction occurs, so they go ahead and give him the point. Adams up to Whitty. Whitty working his way through some picks. Finally freed up at the end line. Which gets it to Wilson. Anderson loses the handle. Ball's loose on the floor. Picks it back up. Throws it to half court. Ball's still loose. Wilson almost had his hands on it. Adams finally gathers it up. Tries to get a pass to Jenkins, and Birch was there to break that one up. Substitutions. Both teams. Ryan Major back in. Roberts, Walker, Godsey. Looks like. Yep. Roberts, Whitty, Rode, and Jenkins end up on the floor. Pass comes into Anderson. Battle for the ball. And Jenkins had it tied up. Possession arrow pointing to Oscar Mike. 49.9 on the clock. Oscar Mike tries it again, giving it off to Anderson. Ball's tipped away. It's loose. Picked up by Roberts. Roberts looking long. Looking for Whitty. Ryan Major comes away with that one. Pounds his way through the line and dumps it to Birch. 22.2 to go on the clock. Roberts down the sideline. Gets bumped out of bounds by Ryan Major. $20.5. 35-27 Oscar Mike. Anderson. Crosses with 6.6. Timeout Carolina. Moves it up to half court. Wilson back in the game for Major. Carolina with 6.6 to go. Trying to get a final score on the board. Roberts takes a pass. It's hit by Anderson. Down low, looking for Whitty. Pass tip. Last touch by Birch. Carolina will try another one. Whitty looking to the end line this time. Comes a pass down low. Jenkins catches it. Crosses the line at the buzzer. Nice play there. Nice pass and catch. That's the end of 3. Oscar Mike 36, Carolina Crash 28. Take a couple minutes and be back with the fourth quarter. Teams are back on this floor to finish this one out, the fourth quarter. Walker, Jenkins, Godsey, Adams, Carolina, Major, Birch, Courier, and Wilson for Oscar Mike. First pass comes into Adams. Little dump pass to Jenkins. Some room in front of him. Takes it across. 36-29 is our score here early in the fourth. Ball's on the floor to Courier. Desperation pass looking long for Birch. And couldn't quite catch that one. It was close. Almost had it. Crash can draw within 6 on this possession. Pass is loose in the hands of Courier. Wilson backs it out. Courier in the corner. Pass tipped by Birch. Intercepted. Walker looking for some room. Tries to throw a pass towards half court. Caleb Wilson tips it. Adams picks it up. Over to Jenkins. Tries to slide a pass over to Walker. Not going to catch up with that one. Ball was out of bounds. Subs. Carolina coming in with Roberts, Whitty, and Rode, joining Jenkins. Graham in for Oscar Mike. Birch looking for the inbound. Pass comes down to Graham. It's a big hit from Roberts. Ball is loose and Whitty picks it up. Pass over to Roberts. Down low. Takes it right in before contact. 38-30. 6:10 to go. Wilson over to Birch. Hit by Whitty. Birch to Graham. Wilson slashing to the end line. Robert takes the inbounds pass. Goes over Whitty. Finds Jenkins racing up ahead. They gave it to you. They gave it to you. Graham spins. Wilson gets a pick from Birch and frees him up across the end line. Jenkins into Roberts. Roberts goes a long pass down court to Whitty. Over to Jenkins. Whitty looking for the corner. Finds it. Over 34 Graham. Ball brings it up court. Wilson connects with the pass. Roberts splits the defenders, beats Birch around the edge. Pivots back to the middle. Loses the handle. Into the hands of Wilson. Down low to Birch. Long pass up court to Roberts. Takes a couple of hits. Spins. Screened by Jenkins. Jenkins across half court. Looking low for Whitty. Putting the timeout real quick and back to the action with 4:10 to go. Crash down 9, 42-33. Wilson up to Birch. Smashed by Whitty and Roberts. Over to Graham. Finds Wilson. Roberts. Jenkins. Whitty backing his way to the end line. Birch pass to Graham is low. Whitty gathers it up. Jenkins gets a pass from Whitty. Good over the shoulder pass by number 15 on Carolina. This one comes into Courier. Wilson's pass off the hands of Birch. Anderson, Major, and Fleece back on the floor for Oscar Mike. Roberts going towards half court. High pass down the lead. Whitty. I believe Anderson got pushed out of bounds by Roberts down there at the end line. So we'll go to the penalty box. Carolina 4-on-3. Quick toss into Whitty. Let's defense set up behind him. Crosses the line. Anderson back on the floor. Anderson battle with Jenkins. Clock's ticking and bullet pass down court. Brings past Birch out of bounds. Carolina comes up with another turnover. Roberts around the corner. Over Jenkins. Jenkins pivots, and there's Whitty again at the end line. Backs straight across the line. Carolina with a couple of quick points off turnovers. 43-37. 2:29 to go. Anderson drives another pass to Birch. That one's going to get away. Pass looking for Whitty down low. He catches it. Beats Major to the end line. Crash close within 5 with 2:22 to go. Oscar Mike calls a timeout to collect themselves. 4 straight turnovers turned into points for Carolina. Back to the action will be Oscar Mike ball inbounding. Birch over to Anderson. Looking for Birch long. That was behind him. Able to reach back and grab it. Now Birch looking long for Anderson. Roberts zigzagging back and forth, looking for some help. 8-second no dribble called. Anderson 1:25 on the shot clock, 1:40 on the game clock. Anderson crashes through with 1:31 to go in the game. Quick pass into Whitty. Pass down looking for Roberts. Pass behind him. Anderson hooked by Road. It's an 8-second call. Nice defense there by Miley Road. Hooking the speedy Anderson. Bounce pass comes into Whitty. Ball knocked away by Anderson. Last touch by Whitty. Chris Fleece being bounded right in front of us here. Into Anderson. Ball's loose. Roberts with a quick pickup. Lob pass down to Whitty. Takes it in with 56.3 to go. 45-39 our score. Anderson looking long for Birch. Gives it up to Major. 17 on the shot clock. Looking low. Anderson takes it across with 27.2 on the game clock. Carolina's going to call a timeout. Move it up to half court. Roberts takes that pass. Looking for some help. Got the pass down to Jenkins. Tries to get a pass over to Road off her hands. Ball's still loose. Ball's out of bounds. Last touch by Anderson. 13.4 to go for Carolina to get a score. Passing to Whitty. Whitty looking for Roberts. Fires a pass down low. Roberts was trying to muscle his way across. Knocked out of his lap before he could cross the line. Still Carolina ball. Whitty fires it in Jenkins. Fleece pushed out of bounds. Fleece called for leaving the court. 4.7 to go. Carolina with a 4-on-3. Whitty looking long. Intercepted by Birch. Major comes away with it. And that'll do it. Oscar Mike, 46. Carolina Rich, 39. That'll do it for this broadcast. Appreciate you watching this on the Tactical Tater Broadcasting Network. Again, our next broadcast will be at 2:30 this afternoon versus the Grand Rapids Thunder. We're going to sign off, and we'll see you guys in a couple hours. Thank you for watching.